So one of the common topics that we get asked about is LinkedIn Ads 101, and we've written some essays on it, but I thought I would do this walkthrough video on how to set up a basic LinkedIn campaign and just walking through all the different pieces in the LinkedIn Campaign Manager. So first thing, you log into like Campaign Manager, you have all your saved and combined audiences. So these are all my custom audiences. For example, I have my 60-day remarketing audience, I have my 42 LinkedIn page, I have a key play audience, I have a clay audience, CMO, contact website. I can go in here and I can see what the match rate on these is. So I can see that 192 got matched. Unmatched are about seven. So some people did not get matched, which is fine because I have a 90% match rate, which is great. For company audiences, you typically get a higher match rate because LinkedIn can look at the company LinkedIn URL or company name and match that to a LinkedIn company object. Yeah, the audience count you have, and all these audiences that are matched, and it also shows you how many members are being targeted from each of these companies, how many impressions they have, how many ad engagements they have, which is pretty helpful if you're doing more of a account based play. Brand safety, we don't use this right now because we don't tend to use a lot of LinkedIn Audience Network. That's where the brand safety comes into play because LinkedIn Audience Network basically means they're going to put your ads on a third party website. So you want to make sure it doesn't show up on a weird website. The other thing, just on the audiences piece, really quickly, is if you have like remarketing stuff, you can also click on that and you can see where they got matched, where they're being used, which campaigns, all that stuff. So that's that. We'll go into the advertising piece really quickly. I want to cover something that is really interesting that I don't think is being talked about a lot is the LinkedIn A/B testing and LinkedIn brand lift. So brand lift basically means, and you don't have to pay extra budget for this, you just gotta meet a minimum budget requirement of $90,000 or something over the lifetime of your account. But brand lift basically means that LinkedIn divides your audience into two segments. One is a control group and one is a regular group. The regular group sees your ads, the control group does not, and they measure if people see your ad, do they actually remember your brand or not? So they have these built-in questions on ad recalls, like do you recall seeing an ad for this product, employee consideration? We don't really worry about that. Top of mind awareness, when you think of X category, what comes to mind? What have you heard of this company? This is a really nice way to measure the impact of your brand marketing, not just on LinkedIn, but everywhere else, because if that audience is on LinkedIn, they might remember seeing your ads somewhere else. So again, this is all free. You don't have to pay extra for it. LinkedIn recently launched our A/B tests. So this is sort of what Facebook and Google has, that you can test different campaign audience placements and then measure how they perform against each other. So definitely recommend checking that out. A lot of people don't look at the insights tag. So the insights tag is essentially the JavaScript that tells LinkedIn who's on your website, what actions they're taking, conversion actions, all that stuff. So all this conversion tracking, data sources, it's coming from the insights tag. You can set up offline conversion tracking. You can see the tag. You can just copy paste the tag, or you can do a tag manager like a Google Tag Manager to install it. Website actions is relatively new. This is when LinkedIn picks up on actions or clicks on a website and says, hey, people are doing this on your website. You might not be measuring them as conversions, but here's some data on that. So you can create audiences against that. You can create a conversion against that. You can see what they're appearing on 10 pages. What is that they're clicking on? We don't have any website action in use, but I can create an audience or a conversion of website actions. Assets is where all your stuff lives. Account settings, company page, business manager. Let's quickly go into advertise. What we typically do is we create a campaign group, and then we have an objective per campaign group. So we are creating a brand awareness ad. We'll have a campaign group for brand awareness. Within that campaign group, we'll have multiple campaigns running. We might do budget optimization. I don't really think LinkedIn is great at that, so we don't typically do that right now. But typically, we break it down into each objective. This is relatively new to LinkedIn as well, where they have campaign groups with objectives. So that means within this campaign group, I can only create a single type of campaign. So if it's a brand awareness campaign group, I can only create brand awareness ads. I can't create website visits or conversion ads. I can just create this campaign group, and then here it is. Now I can create campaigns. The objective is going to be brand awareness. I can control the spend on the campaign group level as well. This again is new. LinkedIn just launched a connected TV or CTV integration. For brand awareness objectives, you can also show ads on a CTV audience. I can just use a saved audience here. Saved audiences are basically audiences that I've created, that I've saved. This is my Clay audience. I can just click on this. It'll populate everything for me. And then I can just do save audience. You don't want audience expansion. We've run tests where we had a very tight group of companies and we enabled audience expansion, targeted completely unrelated companies. We had companies under, say, 500 employees within a certain segment, and we enabled audience expansion on it, and we checked the audience demographics after the campaign was running for about 2 weeks, and it was targeting somebody like Oracle, which is not related to what we're trying to target. This is the pre-selected one. We're doing brand awareness and we're doing CTV. It will only let us run the video ad. If you're running on connected television, you want to run video ads. But if I turn off connected television, I can run single image. We don't really need this because we're connecting our LinkedIn campaigns to HubSpot. So HubSpot can insert dynamically all the tracking URLs and stuff. So we don't do that. We typically turn this off because this is all the third-party stuff. It shows up on the app. It shows up on some random website. You can keep this on if you want. This is where you then start doing the brand safety stuff. But we typically keep this off because we want to show people on LinkedIn. If your audience is on LinkedIn and off LinkedIn and you want to target them outside of LinkedIn, this is like that work as well, where it shows up on third-party publishers. And then daily budgets, you can do daily lifetime both. This is interesting because it's a brand awareness ad, so we're going to do reach. It doesn't let us do manual bits, but typically within LinkedIn's, you can do manual bits in the conversion stuff and the click stuff, but for reach-based stuff, it just defaults to maximum delivery. This is where you set up your conversion tracking. You can save this and then you just set up campaigns. So this is where they introduce the LinkedIn member stuff. So for example, we have these existing ads. I can also search for myself or somebody from my company or anybody else on LinkedIn and say, hey, I want to promote your organic post as a LinkedIn ad. Sort of what like Twitter. I'm the founder of 42. I have obviously an auto approval, but I can do it from anybody else in the company or anybody else on LinkedIn as well. I can promote company page. We typically see better click-through rates with thought leadership. They call them thought leadership ads. These come from the company page, but these ones come from my personal account. So I can add these to the campaign. This is coming from Carmen Rexton, founder at 42, and these are coming from 42 itself. If you're creating new ads, LinkedIn now you can select up to 5. So we just do 5 creatives. So remember, for mobile, you have the vertical size to select the different size of the mobile versus desktop. Makes a huge difference on click-through rates. And you can just select these, and it'll create 5 different ads for you. And then you can have one text. So this is the text, but it can have 5 different variations. Previously, you need to clone them 5 times and create them 5 times, but now you can just have 5 different images right on the get-go. So once you launch the campaign, you want to be measuring the click-through rates and the CRM stuff, and then how many are opportunities, how many are conversions. One of the things that we do is we look at the demographics. Because LinkedIn knows who the people are that are looking at your ads and which company they're from. This is super helpful to just give a gut check on, are you reaching the right people with your ads, or are you completely missing the point? We will typically look at this over a period of time, see if we're hitting the right kind of job titles, the right kind of job functions, the right kind of company, the right kind of company sizes, locations, all this stuff. So this is like your first layer of, am I hitting the right kind of people on LinkedIn, the right company, the right title, the right ICP? If you're having performance issues, if your click-through rate is low, if you're not seeing conversions, then you can sort of look at the demographic report and see that, am I actually reaching the right kind of audience in the first place? So I have Rippling over here, then I also have Pavilion. Pavilion is getting a lot of the impression share, which means all these other people that are smaller don't get enough impression share. So I might even split out Pavilion into its own campaign because they have enough people on LinkedIn that they get a lot of the majority of the impressions, and they're sort of eating all my budget. I don't really look at recommendations right now. It's pretty early for LinkedIn's recommendation engine. But we do look at like click-through rates, conversions, or like average CTR. You can do breakdowns over here by off network, on network, and then we can also create some custom like we look at daily spend pacing. So like if we give a $30 spend, but on average it's only spending $10, what is going on? You can do different kind of breakdowns on this, and then you can also customize your columns to create different kind of like what's your average CTR, comments, shares, member follows, all that stuff. So lots of data, but I would say don't get too carried away in the data. Just based on the objective of the campaign, look at the right data. If you're launching a video campaign, look at what percentage of views you get. Maybe the click throughs aren't so high, but the views are really high. So the objective of the video is to get people to watch the video. I hope this was helpful. This is a very quick overview of LinkedIn Ads Manager. Let me know if you have any questions. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know what else you would like us to make videos about. Thank you.